farm I work at is next to a river, so on one of my first days here, I walked through the pastures to get to this spot next to the cliffs, which you could see from the farm, but they looked so much bigger in person. It wasn't hot enough to swim that day, but I read my book by the river for a little while and then walked back. To get back to my cabin requires walking through this field of cows, and it was about mid-afternoon, so tons of them were taking a nap. And this time of year, I don't know if this is everywhere, but at least in Idaho, there's just so many little baby cows everywhere.
Give me a moment to dream a bit. Worlds are spinning round in union. I can feel their movements. I will wander now beyond the atmosphere, among the stars.
The first few days on the farm, we spent a lot of time potting up little baby starts from these little plug trays into bigger pots. So we did a bunch of squash plants here. The farm grows like 18 different kinds of squash. And these are all kept in the prop house, which holds all of the other baby plants, like these brassicas, which are now in the ground, and tons of tomatoes, which we'll be planting tomorrow, and these tiny baby onions. The prop house is so far one of my favorite places on the farm, just because I think all of the little sprouting plants are so adorable, and it's so interesting to see what they look like when they're tiny before they go in the ground. Weeding is a pretty constant task, especially right now when plants are young and need space to grow. So that day, me and some friends weeded out a ton of quack grass, which has crazy long roots. Look at that root. One of my favorite things so far about working on the farm is just how satisfying it is to physically see the work you've done, like a fully cleared patch of rhubarb. Near the end of my first week on the farm, it started getting pretty hot where we are, so I took a little trip down to a swimming spot my friend recommended. It was still pretty cold, and the current was strong, so I went out to a rock bar and attempted to wash my hair. So much during this apprenticeship, so I've started keeping a journal to write down things like frost dates and how to space certain crops when they're growing in the ground. So on that day, I started catching up from the first few days and did a little bit of journaling in the sun. Not bad. Oh, you're so pretty. It's getting cloudy. Time to leave. Early spring means harvesting a lot of greens and radishes for the local market and CSA boxes. So that day we harvested some bok choy, radishes, and tatsoi. And of course, finished the day off with some more weeding.